Hey, this is Dr. Mike McCall, Source Health Center. Another Topic Tuesday coming at you like a body snatcher. Anyway, I want to talk about blood pressure and the many ways we do it. Now, the standard used to be this formula. You would take the top number, you do 110, you would half the patient's age and add that number. That would be your top number, and you didn't want anything that would, the bottom number to be above 100. So that meant with that old formula that the older you got, the higher your blood pressure should be, which is very interesting, meaning that these people seem to thrive with higher blood pressures. There's been many studies that show that people over the age of 60 seem to thrive very well with higher blood pressures and also higher cholesterol. Something to think about. So currently, medicine does provide amazing medications that will lower your blood pressure. Right now, there's three types of medications. You have three general types of medications. You have your diuretics, your calcium channel blockers, as well as your beta blockers. So your diuretics are really kind of forcing your body to lose water, thereby losing the amount of pressure that's in your arteries. So they slowly dehydrate you. They are putting pressure on the kidneys to do so. You have your beta blockers, which they do is they block the receptors that are in the heart and the intimate lining, which is the inside lining of your arteries, so that when you release adrenal hormone, those capillaries do not constrict. So it blocks adrenaline, is known as adrenaline, and cortisol from having an effect on your blood pressure. And the last one would be your calcium channel blockers, because muscle contraction requires calcium. So if you can stop the calcium from infiltrating a muscle, you cannot cause it to contract. So these drugs work very, very well, but if we had to look at this naturally, and not to say that I'm giving you advice, you should be taking your medications, I'm not talking about changing it, but if you want to talk to your doctor about making some changes, you definitely want to make that appointment and talk to them. So what are some options to look into and for you to consider? Well, if you're a diuretic, you got to figure out, why does your body need so much water in it? A lot of times you may have an allergy. If you already know you have an allergy, that's great, but a lot of times you can look into a food allergy, which we've talked about before in sessions back there. The calcium channel blocker could be you've got low calcium, or you got too much calcium and you need to buffer that with magnesium. Now the mineral stuff, every year there's a mineral that's the golden child of all minerals, but generally you want to balance with minerals, and the best form of minerals you can get in our diet is actually green leafy vegetables and any vegetable. And then we have the beta blockers, how to deal with stress. Good Lord, we don't do well with stress, but we do well with stress. We do everything in the United States to be stressed out. We can't just do our job, we got to worry about it. We can't just raise our children, they got to be in the best schools, best jobs, best opportunities. Oh my God, every day we hear something new. We live in a very adrenal related time. How do you work on that? That's mindfulness training. We've got heart math that we talked about before. These types of things, very, very important. But you know the biggest thing in the world? Just eat like your ancestors did before. Meats and vegetables and fruits and all those kind of things. So blood pressure. Chiropractics work. There's been a great study about 8 years ago where a chiropractor, 80-year-old chiropractor, would just adjust C1 and lower blood pressures that were better than if a person was on 2 medications. So blood pressure, there's more to it than meds. Do the investigations. The information's out there. Don't get off your meds. Talk to your prescribing doctor and have them nurse you off of the meds if that's what you choose to do. So I hope you're having a good day. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.